Chippy is showing up in my comment sections and DMs. 40% yield, weekly payments, semiconductor exposure, 100 grand invested would have grown to over $160,000 in its first year, including income. The numbers are extraordinary, and a lot of people want to know whether this is real or whether there's a catch that they're missing out on. I don't own Chippy. I look at it carefully and I want to give you an honest case study, not a warning, not a promotion, but an actual analysis of what you're buying, why the numbers look the way they do, and what the risk picture is that the yield headline does not show you whatsoever. Here's what Chippy actually is if you don't know. It's the Yield Max Semiconductor Portfolio Option Income ETF. Launched in April of 2025 and holds between 15 and 30 semiconductors or companies, including NVIDIA as the largest position at roughly 8% of its assets. On top of those stock holdings, the fund sells covered call options to generate premium income. That premium obviously gets distributed to shareholders on a weekly basis. The current stated yield is approximately 28 to 43%, depending on when you check it, and the fund has paid approximately $25 per share over the past year. Weekly distributions are the payment structure as well. As of early 26, the fund has roughly $428 million in assets under management, with an average daily trading volume of about $15 million. Liquid enough for retail investors to enter and exit without significant friction at all. The first year performance number that's circulating is insane, right? YieldMax themselves highlighted that in Chippy's first year. $100,000 grew to approximately 162 grand with income taken out, or approximately $238,000 with all distributions reinvested amid robust semiconductor or AI demand. Those numbers are real, but they require one important piece of context to really understand correctly for yourself. But here's the framework for understanding why Chippy's first year looks so absolutely insane. Covered call strategies on semiconductor or stocks have two sources of return: the premium collected from selling calls and the underlying price movement of the stocks themselves. In Chippy's first full year of operation, April 2025 to April 2026, semiconductor stocks performed extraordinary, right? AI demand drove, right, NVIDIA, Broadcom, and their peers to significant gains. A covered call strategy that captures most of that upside while also collecting options premium on top looks like a miracle. Chippy's total return since inception was approximately 137%, annualized through mid-2026, a result that reflects the semiconductor bull run more than the income strategy in isolation. The question I always ask about any high-yield strategy: what does this look like when the underlying sector doesn't have this banner year? Even in the context of Chippy's strong performance, Seeking Alpha noted that Chippy underperformed SOXX, the semiconductor index ETF, by 20 percentage points between its inception and March 2026. The covered call overlay that generates the income also caps the full upside participation in those major rallies. That's the same trade-off every covered call strategy makes though, right? Consistent income in exchange for the reduced upside capture. But let's talk about the tax reality that really changes math. The first thing to understand about Chippy's distributions is how they're taxed, right? Because it significantly affects the real return depending on where you're actually holding this thing. The most recent distribution announced contained 0% estimated return of capital and 100% income. That's the opposite of SPYI and QQQI, which generate significant return of capital. Chippy's income is currently classified as ordinary income, taxed at your full federal tax bracket rate in a taxable account. At a 24% bracket, a 40% stated yield becomes approximately 30% after federal tax. At a 32% bracket, it's closer to 27%. That's still a very compelling number, by the way, in absolute terms, but it's lower than the headline yield is showing, right? In a Roth IRA, the tax character obviously is irrelevant, full yield compound tax rate. For the right investor at the right life stage, Chippy inside a Roth IRA captures the income without that tax drag, making the placement decision really significant to think about. Let's talk about the sector concentration risk here. Chippy holds only semiconductor or companies, right? That's not a diversified equity fund. It's a bet that semiconductors continue to perform. The fund has 25 companies in the portfolio, with NVIDIA obviously as the largest position. When NVIDIA and the semiconductor sector do well, Chippy does extremely well. When they don't, when the AI trade cools, when Taiwan Strait tensions flare up, when NVIDIA misses earnings, the NAV of Chippy falls, and it falls hard. Semiconductor stocks typically carry beta above 1 and 1.5. That means they move 50% more than the broader market in both directions. A 15% market decline in a bad quarter could translate to 20 to 25% NAV decline decline in Chippy simultaneously while distribution amounts compress from that lower volatility. This is the concentrated version of the equity risk problem I discussed with JEPI and SPYI. At least those funds hold the entire S&P 500 though. Chippy holds one sector at elevated valuations with elevated beta. Let's talk about comparing it to a simple covered call approach. Here's how Chippy stacks up against running your own covered calls on individual semiconductor stocks. If you identified NVIDIA, AMD, and Broadcom individually and sold covered calls on those positions directly, you'd capture the same premium dynamics, okay? Semiconductor level, implied volatility, weekly or monthly income, whatever you decide, while paying your own judgment about specific names to hold, at what strikes to sell at, and when to exit and capture appreciation. But the trade-off, doing it yourself, requires time, skill, and active management. Obviously, Chippy handles all of it for a 1% expense ratio. For investors who want semiconductor or covered call income without the management burden, Chippy is solving a real problem. I don't argue that. But here's the risk. Chippy's management team makes all the decisions on your behalf. If you disagree with how they're running it, which positions they hold, which strikes they're selling at, you literally have no say. And also the NAV sustainability question. Here's the critical variable over the longer time horizons here. In a sustained semiconductor bull market, Chippy's NAV holds up and the income is awesome, right? It's being generated from premium on top of growing underlying positions. That's what happened in year one, right? We see it. The portion of distributions classified as return of capital has varied significantly from 0 to 89% in different weeks, indicating that not every distribution comes from actual earned premium. When market conditions produce lower premium, the fund may return capital to maintain the distribution, reducing the NAV over time. If that happens consistently in a weaker semiconductor environment, you're in the same NAV erosion trap as other high yield covered call ETFs that we talk about. But here's the honest summary of all this. Chippy it's a legitimate product solving a real problem, right? I'm not going to argue that. Delivering income from semiconductor covered calls without requiring individual investors to manage those positions themselves. In its first year, performance was insane, right? Driven primarily, obviously, by those semiconductor sector strength that made the entire underlying portfolio appreciate while also generating premium income that we love so much. The risks are specific: concentrated semiconductor exposure, ordinary income tax treatment, and NAV sustainability questions if the semiconductor momentum cools down. These aren't hypothetical concerns. They're the same dynamics that have hurt other sectors concentrated, especially in covered call strategies, when their underlying sectors start getting rotated out. For a Roth IRA investor who is, bullish on semiconductors for the next several years and wants income exposure to that theme, Chippy is a reasonable allocation in a diversified portfolio. Not a standalone retirement strategy, at least not for me. But for a taxable account investor expecting that 40% yield at face value, the after-tax picture and the sector concentration deserve very careful consideration before committing like $100,000 to it. Got some questions for you guys, as always, in that comment section. Number one, have you looked at Chippy, or are you already holding Chippy? And did the first year numbers reflect semiconductor momentum, or did you evaluate the underlying strategy independently before you invested? Number two, if you were to allocate to Chippy, which account would you use? Roth IRA to capture the full yield, or taxable where the ordinary income treatment would significantly reduce the effective return? Let me know. We have some great conversations down there always. And if you're a beginner getting started with all this, I definitely recommend you attend the full ARC options workshop. It's only 90 minutes long. I break things down to the beginner level, and at the end I give you some free bonuses. I give you my 15 favorite stocks under $30, my 2 premium calculators, and my full trade log template at the very end of that training. You'll find it as the first link in the description of today's video, guys. As always, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.